Ready to see me be reminded over and over again why I don't play hardcore Terraria? That's what's gonna happen today in early hard mode. Hey there, my name is Soundrak and welcome back to another episode of my Terraria for the Worthy Master Mode playthrough series. In the last episode, we took out the Wall of Flesh and entered hard mode, and stuck around to see what a full moon was like and what happens when a black recluse drops on your head. Today we'll be pushing forward into hard mode, looking for upgrades, and get a visit from each of the mechanical bosses. But will we be prepared to take down any of them? Let's find out. I start the session doing a little inventorying of some of my stockpiles, and looks like I'm low on pumpkin pie, so I go ahead and plant a bunch of the squashes in my fighting arena. Next, I do a little bit of exploring to identify where the new corruption and hollowed areas are located. When you first enter hard mode, you get a giant V of the new biomes, hollow to one side and evil biome to the other. I'm pretty sure that the corruption went to the right and the hollow looks like it went to the left. I want to double check if it's getting too close to my snow pylon village though, so I head there and then double back to see. Man, these dark mummies take a while to burn down with my flame lash. Definitely gonna need some good upgrades pronto. I head down to the bottom of the pyramid shaft and yep, we've got new corruption over here. Looks like it's still quite a ways from the snow pylon though, so that's good for now. Next, I head down to a spider cave below my base. There's a couple of great early hard mode upgrades you can get by farming the hard mode black recluse spiders down here, including the poison staff that is a somewhat rare drop from them, as well as some summoner weapons and armor that can be crafted from their fangs. Since I'm not planning to go with summoner armor, I just farm enough to get the spider staff and spider queen staff weapons, as well as a poison staff, and then head back to base to craft them. The spider minions are a big DPS upgrade from the imp staff, and the spider queen staff is a good sentry weapon. I head down to the goblin to reforge them, and although I'm pretty low on cash, I managed to get a ruthless mod for the spider staff. I didn't get a poison staff earlier though, so I head back to the spider den for more farming, and a few minutes later I've gotten 2 of them. And then promptly get killed in celebration. And in the interest of full transparency, I think I actually died 4 times while playing with the spiders, so off to a great start. Oh hey, and if you want to see me die repeatedly live, be sure to check out my community page where I post my weekly live stream schedule, and check my playlist page for my past live streams. Next, I head out to find out where the hollow biome is at on the surface, starting at the jungle village and then heading back to the right. Just as I'm getting to the edge of the jungle, the rainbows appear. Evil biome spread can ruin your jungle as it converts the jungle mud to regular dirt, but hollow doesn't do that, so this will work out just fine. I hang out on the surface for a bit to get some pixie dust, but the pixies don't take kindly to that and destroy me. Whoops. Time to bless my world with hard mode ores, so I head to one of my natural corruption areas and start smashing the demon altars. The first one gives me Palladium, and then I get orichalcum followed by titanium. I break 3 more sets of 3 for 12 altars total, which is generally the recommended number of altars to smash. Each subsequent set gives you less of the ore in the world, but every altar smashed has a 66% chance to cause a random stone block in the cavern layer to change into either ebonstone or a pearlstone block, from which those biomes will then spread. So if you go crazy breaking altars, your world can quickly succumb to the evil and hollow biomes. Next up is mining. With spelunker and mining buffs on, I head to my ocean pylon village and then fall down the elevator shaft looking for hard mode ores. My molten pickaxe is only strong enough to mine the first ore, and I quickly find a couple of patches of palladium and mine them up. I also get a chance to try out my new weaponry against some toxic slimes, which go down pretty fast. Back at base, I smelt the palladium and make a new pickaxe, which will now allow me to mine the next level, orichalcum. But before I can sell the extra stuff to my arms dealer, I get notified that the air is getting colder around me. Uh-oh, incoming mechanical boss, and I am woefully unprepared for such a battle. But I decide to give it my best shot anyways, grab a few buffs, and head over to the fighting arena. Soon enough, Skeletron Prime has awoken, and from what I've heard, the bombs that shoot from one of his hands in For the Worthy act like regular bombs and blow stuff up. So I don't feel bad when I get destroyed pretty fast before he's able to destroy too much of my arena. If I want to contain the damage of his bombs, I'll need to line an arena with dungeon bricks or some other bomb-proof type of block, but that can wait for another day. Time to get some Souls of Flight for future wing upgrades, and for those I'll need to kill some wyverns up near space and head up to the floating island above my base. I managed to actually not die to the wyverns and harpies, and then get all of my souls from the bottom of a cloud. That's enough for now though, so I head back to base. After that, I decide to go fishing for ocean crates. I would really like to make some Terra Spark boots at some point, but we'll need water walking boots and ice skates, among other things. But as it turns into night, I get a premonition that things are about to get terrible. Second mech boss attack already? I grab some buffs, then quickly try to patch up my fighting arena from the last one, but then the twins have awoken. Wow, these two are really fast and spazzy. I get about twice as much damage done as I had done against Skeletron Prime, which isn't saying much, but then get murdered. Once I'm alive again, I go ahead and open my 3 seaside crates. No water walking boots though, sad day. And nothing noteworthy from the other crates either, though I did get enough orichalcum bars to make a new anvil, so that's nice. I do a bunch more fishing, open more crates, but still no water walking boots. Pumpkins are grown, so I harvest them, then I work on patching up my fighting arena while fighting angry nimbus clouds. I need more Souls of Light though, so I head over to the Hallow area and venture downward. I'm also on the lookout for more orichalcum ore and mine any I see, while also grabbing crystals that grow on the Pearlstone. I find a nice big open room, so I hang out there for a while farming monsters for souls, and I almost take down a hollow mimic, but then an interfering skeleton archer shoots me, and moments later the mimic finishes me off. Orichalcum pickaxe gets made, and now I can mine titanium ore. But first I realize that I have enough palladium to go ahead and make a full suit of armor. It's not the best armor, but will be a nice upgrade from my pre-hard mode set, and it has nice health regen. What I'd really like to get though is the Forbidden Armor set, which is kind of a hybrid mage summoner set. But I'll need to hang out in the desert during a sandstorm to get the crafting ingredients, and since I can hear the wind howling, I head over to my local desert to take a look, and yup, I've got a sandstorm. And I immediately get ganked by a dune splicer. I float back over to the oasis and land on a tree platform, which turns out is a great height to avoid just about everything that's down below me. I quickly place a campfire and a heart lantern and settled in for some good old-fashioned farming, getting my first sand elemental almost right away. These are the mobs that drop the forbidden fragments needed for the forbidden armor. They take a while to kill, but eventually it goes down and I've got my first fragment. 2 more to go for the full armor set, though I'll probably get a couple more in case I want to try the Spirit Flame weapon as well. The Sandstorm ends just as my 5th and final needed elemental arrives, and it looks like during the storm I also picked up the desert key for the dungeon biome chest. I won't be able to open it until after Plantera has been defeated though, but good to know that I've already got it on hand. As for the forbidden armor, I'm going to need titanium bars before I can craft it, but I do go ahead and make a meteor staff, which I happen to have the materials for. I don't want to spend too much money, so I content myself with a murderous mod, and then I head down to the Underworld to farm more souls and maybe get some mimics and do a little mining. I head over to the hollow side as I need more crystals for healing potions and other crafting recipes. This is part of the reason I always make my wall of flesh fighting runway out of stone, so you can get crystals once you're in hard mode. I was smart and grabbed some purification powder from the Dryad before I came down, and am able to turn a tortured soul into the tax collector NPC. Every now and then I head up just above the Underworld for even more easy to find crystals as well as ore mining. A regular mimic gifts me with a magic dagger, a fun little weapon, but I'm not sure if I'll use it or not, largely because it doesn't have autocast, so you have to click a ton to use it, which I find bothersome. While in a granite area, a recluse webs me though, and I get sent home. Back in my crafting area, I go ahead and make some greater healing potions. The restoration potions are nice how they have a shorter cooldown, but at 90 healing compared to the greater potion's 150, I think the 150 will work better. While out mining, I make it to the edge of the Antlion nest, which is now hollowed. I get a little ways in, but hadn't cleared this area before, see a bunch of cactus, an antlion eggs, other mobs, and a dune splicer, and quickly nope out. Inventory was pretty full anyway, so I just warp home. While down there, I had grabbed a beam sword. It doesn't have auto swing, but does shoot a Zelda-like projectile and is a bit of an upgrade from my Knight's Edge, so I go ahead and put it on my hotbar. Then I head back to the Underworld, this time going to the corruption side. A swarm of bats ends the expedition pretty quickly, but back at base I'm able to make my titanium forge. Now I just need more bars and I can make my forbidden armor. I go back over to the ocean elevator for more mining. These glowing lichen areas are really quite pretty, but I'm not seeing much in the way of hard mode ores. By the time I make it down to the Underworld, I've gotten hardly any ore, and just for fun, decide to try taking down the Wall of Flesh. I didn't have any combat buff potions though, and had a hard time hitting it with either my potion or meteor staff, and end up getting decapitated by an eye laser. Next I decided to do some exploring in my snow biome, which I really hadn't done at all in this world. I don't find anything good in the ice, but below the biome find some more orichalcum, and then a little later finally find a couple patches of titanium and mine them up. Pro tip: to avoid giving yourself a lava shower while mining, replace the ore you want with a block of some type, such as wood or stone, and you'll keep the lava contained. I spot more titanium under the dungeon and am feeling pretty good about my haul, and eventually warp back to base from the Underworld to see that it's apparently raining slime? At my crafting area, I see that I've managed to gather 256 titanium ore, which will be plenty to make my forbidden armor. I go ahead and smelt the ore into bars and then craft the armor. This set has much better damage and increased minion capacity, and is also able to summon sandstorms which damage foes. So this will be pretty fun to play with. I head over to the fighting arena to test it out on the slimes, and yeah, those sandstorms do pretty well. I would like to get some pirate maps though, so I can have a pirate invasion event, so I head over to my right ocean to keep fighting, but the slime rain ends pretty fast with no king spawn, and I didn't get any maps. I'm thinking about trying the destroyer soon if he doesn't appear on his own, so I go ahead and reforge my meteor staff to mythical, and likewise for my poison staff. I still need lots more souls though, so I head back to the Underworld and really fast come across a hollow mimic. I managed to take him down and am rewarded with a Daedalus Stormbow. Great! This weapon was nerfed in the 1.4 update, but is still really strong against the mechanical bosses. I head over to the corruption side of the Underworld a bit later and find a mimic over there as well, but it one-shots me. Ouch! Back at the surface, I make a bookshelf and then craft myself a Crystal Storm spellbook. This weapon has a higher rate of fire and does pretty good damage, and I think it will work better than the poison staff overall. It's pretty expensive to reforge, but I do manage to get a mythical mod boosting its damage even more. I then grab some basic buff potions and head down to the elevator to go try the Wall of Flesh again. And yeah, the Crystal Swarm along with my extra minions really shreds the wall pretty fast. I get a warrior emblem from the loot bag, but since it's night I won't be able to kill another guide to summon the wall again until later the next day. I don't have any mechanical worms to summon the destroyer and am too low on rotten chunks to craft any, so I head over to the corruption to farm some up. I also practice using my sandstorm from the forbidden armor and am finding it to be pretty powerful. Soon I've got enough chunks and head home to craft the mechanical worm, but I'll have to wait until night again to use it. It's daytime and the guide has respawned, so I go ahead and kill him again to get some more rounds in against the Wall of Flesh. First loot bag gives me another warrior emblem, second round gives me a ranger emblem, third round gives me another warrior emblem, fourth round I somehow managed to survive getting run over by the wall, but it's just after nighttime, so I head home to prepare for the destroyer. Loot from the Underworld gets sold, I grab the mechanical worm and then head over to the arena and summon the boss. I tried putting my sandstorms over multiple sections of the boss while dropping meteors from the sky, but soon there are lots of probes out and lasers flying everywhere. I only get the boss down to about 3/4 health and then a laser ends the battle. So yeah, I've now seen each of the 3 mechanical bosses in For the Worthy, and I'm thinking I'll definitely want to make a much wider fighting arena and maybe farm up a Rod of Discord for improved evasion methods. But that's where I decide to call it a day, having gotten a decent amount of early hard mode upgrades. Now I'll just have to further refine my loadout, reconfigure my fighting arena, and next time focus on getting all 3 of the mechs down. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!